This is Shooting USA, honored as the best of outdoor television by the National Shooting Sports Foundation.
It got its start as a cartridge developed for combat. But like a lot of technology that originates with the military, the 300 Blackout is now an available choice for all of us. Smith & Wesson offers the chambering in their M&P 15 rifles. So when Advanced Armament Corporation invited us to test their new round, John was ready. He headed to the Clark County Shooting Complex near Las Vegas to see how the 300 Blackout performs.
AAC invited us to a special event at the Clark County Shooting Complex in North Las Vegas to learn more about the capabilities and development of this cartridge for the military.
We did it pretty much to look at replacing the MP5 SD and the aspects in which it was used for room clearing and stuff like that currently, how the military is using it. And the issues that a lot of guys would run into is after done clearing a room, eventually you got to go back out in the streets, and eventually there's a good chance you're going to be engaged at 2 or 3 blocks out, or a vehicle is going to engage you. So a lot of guys started getting into that they're going to run multiple weapon systems. They're going to have in their backpack, they're going to have an AR, a standard AR platform, plus an MP5, because if they're going in at night and their mission is hopefully get in, do what they need to do and get out quietly, MP5 was great for that. So we actually wanted to look into a weapon system that could handle both sides. So he came out with the 300 AAC Blackout. It actually developed itself into an AR platform that can run both subsonic and supersonic with no changes. So when a guy's doing his room clearing with 220 grain bullet, which is really quiet, just the same as an MP5 SD, but twice the grain weight, which means it packs twice the punch. Then before he enters the street, if he has to, all he's got to do is change mags and have a supersonic round that he can engage at distances, still with the punch of a 30 caliber round.
The felt recoil difference between the subsonic and the supersonic versions is so mild. The only real discernible difference is that the supersonic is slightly louder out of the AAC suppressor.
That's pretty cool. You know what was really cool about that? John loaded me a magazine with both supersonic and subsonic ammo. So it was running, 220 grain subsonic and then 125 grain supersonics in the same mag, just one after another. So, I mean, it doesn't get any more reliable than that. It's fantastic. I can stand around here and do that all day with a 9-inch.
The quiet combination is really demonstrated with a bolt action.
It's the Remington Model 7 short action, but it's in 300 AAC Blackout, and it's got an AAC can on it.
Next is a 16-inch MPW AR style rifle, along with a friendly challenge.
So here's subsonic. You should be able to double tap those steels. Not putting pressure on you, but I can do it.
I'll give it a wet.
Do it again.
But don't let the mild manner of the rifle fool you. The 300 Blackout is a stout cartridge, and AAC has set up a ballistic gel demonstration to prove that point.
We fired 3 rounds of 110 grain Barnes Vortex into these blocks, and we've got about 24 inches here with the blocks. 3 rounds were fired. We've got 1 round made it here, which is about 11 inches. 1 here, just guessing at about 13, and 1 down here at about 20. If you can zoom in on it, you'll see that these Barnes rounds actually expanded. These were fired out of a 9-inch PDW with a Advanced Armament 7.62 SDN6 silencer on it. Beautiful penetration and weight retention.
Perfect.
And you can see right through here where we've got our trauma cavity.
The round is so versatile, from all your guys that just like to plink with subsonic out to your hunters that want that long range capability with a heavy grain 30 caliber bullet.
The 300 Blackout, 30 caliber punch from the compact AR. There's a lot to recommend that choice, and a lot to recommend making the conversion to the AR you already own. John is set up at the gunroom bench to show you how to make that conversion when Shooting USA continues. He's next. This is custom gun making, hand fitting slide to frame, hand cutting the magwell, blending the surfaces of the slide, the frame, and the beaver tail. At every step, a Les Baer Custom 1911 is hand fitted to tolerances no CNC machine can match for match grade accuracy. And a Les Baer Custom 1911 is priced at 1/3 of what you'd pay any other gun maker. See all the 1911s and rifles at lesbaer.com.
Now we're sighting in with Shooting USA. The guns, the gear, and the information to get you on target.
Well, the 300 Blackout cartridge got my attention at last year's SHOT Show, and I've finally gotten the parts together to build a 300 cal upper, and it's all centered around this. It's the barrel, and it's from the source, Advanced Armament. It's a 16-inch black nitride coated 1 1/8 twist, and I've also got their low profile gas system, and of course, a Blackout flash hider. For the fore end, I've got a Todd Jarrett signature model from Yankee Hill Machine. And what I like about it are these anti-roll set screws that work with the slotted barrel nut. Well, I've got the upper receiver chucked up in the vise, and I've got the barrel in with the alignment pin in the notch, and now the barrel nut just threads on hand tight. Now we'll use an AR tool to get the next gas tube passage aligned with the upper receiver. But here's a tip. Put your AR tool on below the barrel. Then slide your gas block and tube assembly into place and find that passage hole you want to use. Now you can make little adjustments with your AR tool until your gas tube will pass. Now I can tighten up the gas block. Well, this gas system also uses a press pin to keep everything aligned, and that just drifts into place like this. Well, then the fore end just threads in place, and once your rail aligns, then you get your set screws in place. And then we tighten the jam nut. And finally, the flash hider. And this build is done. So now I'll mate the upper back with the lower receiver. The beauty of this whole project is everything else about this rifle is the same. It's the same bolt face. It's going to be the same magazines. But now we've got the power of the 300 Blackout. So you're thinking, how much power? Well, let's head to the field and find out. Well, I brought out the chrono so we can establish the energy of these Atlanta Arms and Ammo 300 Blackout loads. The bullet weighs 125 grains. The speed average over 10 shots is 2,274 feet per second. So that velocity squared multiplied by the bullet's weight in grains divided by 450,400 gets 1,435.1 foot-pounds. To compare, these 50 grain 223 rounds have a muzzle energy of 1,170 foot-pounds. But what does that mean? Well, I've got a LaRue target set downrange to help illustrate the difference. First, the 223. And the 300 Blackout. Now that's what I call energy transfer. Well, I think you can see and hear the difference on that piece of steel. The 300 Blackout is powerful. But how much have I spent to get this rifle to this point? Well, that barrel and gas system from AAC was $425, another $99 for their flash hider, and then the Todd Jarrett fore end, that's $210. But that's not bad money for what could be a really effective hunting rifle for hogs.
Thanks, John. And